Welsh Rabbit! First thing is to find a Welsh Rabbit. So today at the store, I looked for the biggest carrot I could find, but in these difficult times, this is all they had. Hugh? Is that you, Hugh? Cariad? Cariad ba? Come here! Join my little dish! I am Welsh, so I can say these things. Welsh people are tricky. Welsh people are storytellers. And so it's not surprising that Welsh Rabbit has no rabbit in it. 1747 is the first written evidence of this dish. It was jocularly called Welsh Rabbit, later changed to Welsh Rarebit, but nonetheless the recipe is the same. For me, the bread is very important in this dish, so I ended up going to San Francisco, to the ferry terminal in San Francisco, which is quite well known for its artisan food shops, and I knew there was a baker in there called Acme Bakery, and they do some wonderful European style bread loaves. So off I went, nice bright Sunday morning. Unfortunately, as you can see from this footage, a little empty, and things are not so good right now. Things are closed down for the partial lockdown for COVID, but here is Acme bread. You can see that people are lining up nice and politely, and that's where I got the loaf for today's dish. Here it is, still wrapped up in its nice old-fashioned bag. Let's take a look what we got. It's not a huge loaf, but it's a nice European style loaf. Kind of a crusty top, and I'm hoping it's going to be quite dense and nice in the middle. We'll go through the ingredients and then we'll slice up the bread and get this done really fast. So what do we need? We obviously need some cheese. I have a white, strong cheddar, whichever cheese you choose. Cheese you choose. Choose your cheese, cheese choosing. Choosing cheese is cheesy. So, whatever cheese you prefer, we're gonna make a bechamel sauce. Here's the secret to a traditional and tasty Welsh rabbit is instead of adding milk to the bechamel sauce, we're gonna add this bad boy here. This dark Irish beer is what we're going to use instead of milk. It sounds crazy, but it tastes amazing. Got some flour, of course, for the bechamel. We've got some butter ready. English mustard is going to go in there for some extra flavor. And for the top, I am going to use a little crumbled bacon and some green onions just to give it some color. That is about it, except for one more essential little secret, and that is Worcestershire sauce. What did he say? Worcestershire sauce. Although this is spelled Worcestershire, practice with me if you're not used to saying this. It is very easy broken into 3 sections. What? Stir? Shire. Worcestershire. Worcestershire sauce. So, here we've got our bread. What we're going to do, we want the center section so we get the largest of this small loaf, we get the largest pieces, and they need to be reasonably thick. And we're going to toast them up too. So let's start about here and just start slicing through. Oh yes, this feels tremendous. There's our first slice. I guess this is just short of an inch maybe. Try to be as straight and accurate as I can. Here we have it. 2 nice slices, and this is exactly what I was hoping for. This is kind of British bread shape, and it's nice and firm in the middle, crunchy on the outside. I think you know how to toast bread, so I'll be right back. This is what we need. They need to be well toasted because when the cheese sauce goes on top, you don't really want it getting too soggy. This dish is all about flavor, aren't they all? And I want a little bit of garlic, but I don't want garlic bread. It would overpower the cheese sauce. So what I'm going to do, I am going to take a fresh garlic clove and just smash it. And I'm simply going to rub the garlic clove over the bread. It imparts some pretty good garlic flavor without overpowering the dish. So with that done, these can sit And already, this is smelling fantastic. Toasted bread, fresh garlic. This would be good enough if it wasn't for those tricky Welsh adding stuff. So let's go to the stove, make the cheese sauce. What is this called?
Receptacle.
A pan.
Pan.
A pan receptacle vessel that can take the drippage in the oven. Let's go. Medium heat. Once the pan is warm, I'm going to step it down to low. A couple of good pats of butter will go in. So we're going to watch this carefully and make sure that we don't burn the butter. Get this butter nicely melted in there. It's good. The butter's just about melted down. I'm going to add some flour. I want this to be medium thick, but it doesn't need to run off the bread. It needs to sit on the bread. Use a nice wooden spoon to mix the flour around in the butter now. All we need to do here is cook off the rawness of the flour. Once it's bubbling like it is here, we're almost there, and you will smell that wonderful baking bread smell that just tells you that this is now cooked through. We're going to take our pride of the Irish nation and we're going to open this Guinness and use this instead of milk to make our bechamel. Now the secret here is, of course, just adding this reasonably slowly. So I'm just going to keep adding and stirring until this is the right consistency before we add the cheese, which will firm it up a little bit more. The Guinness is cold, came out of the fridge. If I'm left with some, I'll have to figure out what to do with it. So take a look now. This is velvety. It looks beautiful, but I need to now bring it up a little bit faster towards the boil, because that's when it's going to thicken to its full consistency. I need to see what that is before I add too much more Guinness. While this is coming up to thickness and temperature, I'm going to add a little dollop of English mustard. English mustard is strong. Be careful enough that you know you're gonna taste that. Now this is boiling away. It's very nice. Turn it down again and add some more beer, because this is now pretty thick, so I can thin it out with more beer. I'm just going slowly, so I'm in control of this. So now we have our English mustard in, our Guinness in, and we're just looking for the right consistency. It smells delicious already, and we're not even done. To show you what we have here now with the mustard incorporated, you can see that this is a medium thick sauce at this point. I'm going to add the Worcestershire sauce. A little bit goes in here, and we're going to use it to finish the dish as well. If you haven't tried this before, where have you been? Just a little smattering of Worcestershire sauce. Oh my goodness, that is such a rich, wonderful, wonderful taste and smell. We're looking good. It looks just right to me, so I'm going to go now and add the cheese, and not all at once, just give it a chance to melt in. We'll mix it around a little bit, probably a couple of cups of nice strong cheese to get it melted in before we add the rest. We're getting to the right consistency. How do I know that? Because as I move this around in the pan, it pulls away from the sides and doesn't rush back. Let's take some of this mixture. I want to be able to show you how beautiful this looks. And we lost a little bit there. Let me just take my time. And we're just going to ladle this mixture onto the bread. Now, you do want to make sure that this is spread to the edges so that the bread doesn't burn under the grill. But the cheese is going to get really happy under this grill. Here it is, Welsh Rarebit off the grill. It's crisp on the top. It's just perfect. A couple of things we want to do. Traditionally, we would score the top without breaking it up. We would score the top, and we're going to apply a little bit of Worcestershire sauce. Just a couple of drops. That's enough. And I like to add my favorite, some crispy bacon, just a few crispy bacon pieces over the top, really enhance this. And some green onion. It's going to make it look fantastic, and it's going to make it taste fantastic. Let's put plenty on there. Maybe just a little touch of arugula on the plate just to set it off nicely, because this is so fantastic to eat. And then I'm just going to slice it into manageable sized pieces so that we can get a taste going. We'll slice this into 3. This definitely has the crispy edge. Let's see. Oh, it's so rich, so flavorful. You'll enjoy it. You're always welcome right here in the kitchen. Come back and see us. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe, hit the bell, leave a comment, and we'll see you here next time.